All right, we're live. Okay.
Hot start.
This is just for the YouTube people. The podcast won't start like this. The podcast will start right now. Okay, we are live. Today is January 14th. The off season drags on. We had a move. It wasn't a Yankee move, but it affects the Yankees. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Darvish. And we have a slew of phone calls and voicemails and questions that go in all different directions. And hopefully we have some fun with those. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking baseball.
I don't know where my harmonica is. I was going to try and...
Oh, man.
Found it.
You always like that as an end thing.
Severely out of breath from that. All right, what's up, everyone? It's Sunday afternoon. We got Jake looking haggard if you're watching on YouTube. He's at a mountain, I think. He lives in the mountains. But
I almost couldn't look worse.
The shirt's fun.
Shirt's fun. Hair's like what? Einstein gone
Kramer?
worse? Yeah, I don't know. It's bad.
Yeah, you're like a mixture of Newman and Kramer right now.
Come on. That's pretty tough.
That's a mean thing to say.
That's pretty mean.
All right, so if this is your first time listening, I'm Jomboy, Jimmy. I am coming to you from California because I'm transplanted Yankee fan. Jake's coming to you from. Are you still in Denver?
I'm in Breckenridge, Colorado today.
Oh my God, your favorite place on earth.
It's up there.
We did a cross-country road trip. There's a full hour-long documentary on it on YouTube. We did a cross-country road trip. And we stopped in Breckenridge. This was in 2013 or 14, I want to say. We stopped in Breckenridge just as like a scenic stop, and Jake fell in love.
Yeah, turns out, so that spot we stopped at is actually Lake Dillon.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's a scenic overpass. I usually stop at it like every time I can. But we thought it was Breckenridge because there was a sign that said Breckenridge. So yeah. Breckenridge, still very cool, awesome place. Most visited ski resort in the world or something like that.
It's crazy. I'm happy for you. Happy you live close there because your eyes lit up. Like your eyes usually don't lit up. You don't really like much.
Yeah, no, I don't know, bad brain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's just talk right about this trade. The Astros traded a third baseman, Morin, I don't know, and a relief pitcher, Musgrove, who's like a meddling relief pitcher. I don't even know what his ceiling is.
He's young. He had good stuff. We saw him in the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's like he's not a late innings. He's like a middle guy, right?
Big years. He's 25 years old. I think he was in. Well, I guess we're tough comparing our bullpen. Yeah, he wasn't great last year. 4.77 ERA. Yeah. So Moran, Musgrove, and Michael Feliz.
We got to start over. I wasn't recording on my end at all.
Wow. How about that?
That sucks. For the one person watching live, we're going to repeat ourselves. Maybe we do less Breckenridge talk because I didn't even have my recorder going. Okay, here we go. Today is January 14th. We are talking Yanks. It's Sunday morning. Jake's looking haggard. You don't look great, but you're on a mountain. Mountain time is always sunny. Did a whole episode on mountain time. Nothing matters. So you can walk around wherever you're in Breckenridge and look as haggard as you look, and people are like, we're on the mountain, man. Anything goes.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk the trade that the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Houston Astros made and how that affects the Yankees. We're gonna talk Darvish. We're gonna talk and then some of that stuff, and then we got voicemails. Hopefully, those lead us into some fun conversations. Let's talk Yanks. All right, what's up, everyone? If you're listening for the first time, my name is Jomboy. Real name's Jimmy. I am coming to you from California because I am a transplanted Yankee fan, and I have my co-host here, like looking haggard, like we said, coming to you from
Breckenridge, Colorado.
And your name is?
Ooh, wasn't prepared for that one.
Name's Jake.
I'm Jake. Jake Storielli. Do I have to get a
Jake
nickname?
coming from Breckenridge, Colorado, which is one of his favorite places in the world.
Everybody loves the Jomboy. Do I need something?
Does everybody love the Jomboy? I don't know. I think it's just kind of like that's how. That's.
I think people do because it's like it's one word, quick.
It's weird.
Like fun letters in there. Jomboy.
It started because we autocorrect on someone's phone in our group chat changed my name from Jimmy to Jami.
Yeah.
And then you guys called me Jami. And then and then that spun to Jomboy somehow. And I was trying to hide my social medias from all potential bosses. So instead of making my name Jimmy, I just made it Jomboy and all those.
Now look.
Whoa, jinx.
Come on.
Same time. All right, let's talk about this trade. The
big Yankees news in an Astros Pirate trade.
Yeah, it is big Yankees news in an Astros Pirate trade. It's weird how the offseason is so boring. But if you haven't heard of the trade, and we are your source of information, A, that's scary. B, happy to tell you what happened. The Pirates traded Garrett Cole for a top third base prospect who's not even in the top 100, a meddling relief pitcher who's 25, been in the bigs for 3 years. People compared him to like Adam Warren or Chasen Shreve for us, and 2 other like lesser prospects for Garrett Cole, which is surprising because the Yankees were supposedly asking more from the Yankees, and the Yankees were offering more. That's what it ended up with. What do you think? What's your gut reaction to this trade? My gut reaction, and I've kind of backed off this, was, wow, it shows how much we overvalue our prospects if this is a comparable trade by other people's thoughts. Kind of backed off that now. But that was my initial gut reaction. What did you think?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you don't see like a big name. You don't see the top prospect or whatever it was. I think the thing that's interesting is it's 4 guys who are major league ready, more or less. And I know, and this is this quote is almost kind of sad, but Pittsburgh's GM Neil Huntington said that the trade-off was obviously he liked the ceiling on the 4 guys that they were getting, but more importantly to them is that they have between those 4 players, they have 15 years of player control. So basically, Pittsburgh's getting 4 guys who are major league ready, more or less, and not necessarily the highest potential. Their basement is kind of what it is. They're somewhat major league guys, but Pittsburgh just kind of wanted to have them under control. And I don't know. I think I don't know. Moran is got to be the big thing for them, and he's a third baseman, so you're hoping, that's he's a lefty first baseman. I don't know. It's tough to compare apples and oranges. We'll start screaming Andujar, this, that, and the other. Really good numbers in AAA for him. I don't know. I think you and me have been on the same page that whatever the price landed at for Garrett Cole, I think we're going to be okay with, because at the end of the day, it's a prospect or prospects for a very proven starting pitcher. So, the Musgrove kid who was in the Astros bullpen, I think they're going to try him at starter. So we'll see. I don't know. If you're the Astros, you got to be pretty stoked. You've given up none of your like core anything.
They gave up no one that was going to affect 2018 for someone that is going to heavily affect 2018. So,
yes.
Good move for the Astros. Their bullpen gets stronger with Verlander, Keuchel, and now Cole. Not bullpen. Their rotation gets stronger with those 3 guys. I still like our rotation just as much. Just as much. Tanaka, Sevi, Sonny.
It's like unfair to think about just because how crazy Verlander was in the playoffs last year. Like right now, he doesn't even seem like he went from in July.
But wasn't Tanaka just as good?
Not just as good, no.
Maybe not innings. Tanaka went 20 innings, 2 earned runs.
Yeah, I mean Verlander kept going to World Series too, but it was just crazy because he was like a bad contract. We were talking Verlander for Ellsbury trades in July, and then the Astros said they saw something on tape, traded for him for kind of nothing, and now they have Ace Verlander again. So
what happened was Verlander went to Houston, and Houston has like super slow-mo cameras in their bullpen,
yeah.
and Verlander saw something in those really super slow-mo bullpen cameras and changed it and was good. I think we made this joke already. If you're the Tigers, you like how quick did you install super slow-mo cameras?
Yeah. How could you let another team get ahead of you like that?
Yeah.
With a $10,000 camera. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that won't help. That won't help. What idiots.
Yeah.
So I can't believe anything. I don't believe anything. But people say they wanted Andujar. Cash refused to give up Andujar. Cash offered a Clint Frazier package trade with 2 other guys. Clint Frazier +2. Houston would rather take the gamble on 4 guys with lesser ceilings than 3 guys where one has a high ceiling, which is just like, that's just, you could say it's dumb, but I think that math kind of makes sense. Like, okay, here's one guy that Clint, should work out. His potential to work out is really high, and then 2 guys who are 50-50. Or here are 4 guys. One guy's got like a 40%, a 60% chance of working out, and 3 guys are 50-50. The odds are still with. Does that make sense? I kind of understand them wanting. It's quantity over quality. They wanted quantity over quality because they think everyone's a crapshoot, which is true. Everyone's a crapshoot.
Yeah, they. It was a very safe trade. There was not any high risk, high reward type players. Moran, looking at his numbers, he raked in AAA, and he was a top prospect. He had a weird injury. I think he got hit and like broke his orbital bone or something like that, something in his eye, and that's how he like became a not top prospect. So that's kind of brutal, but
tough way to get to the not top prospect list.
They got they got 4 guys that they think are going to be on their major league team this year for a guy that they assumed was going to be leaving their team next year.
Yeah. So, all right. So what? So Clint Frazier staying for now. Tweeted out a GIF from Friends, which I liked. I get on him on Twitter a lot, but that was pretty good. What else does this mean? Everyone wants Darvish now. That's what this means. People didn't want Darvish. Who Darvish? People didn't want Darvish. Now everyone says we need to go get Darvish. Getting Darvish because we want to stay under the luxury cap means we'd have to trade Gardner or Ellsbury. And logically, that's a sound trade. You'd be like, if you weren't invested emotionally in any players, you'd be like, okay, yeah, traded an expendable relief pitcher for a top-tier starting pitcher. Expendable relief pitcher, top-tier starting pitcher. That makes sense. Trade a left fielder who's only got 1 year left on his contract for a starting pitcher. Logically, it makes a lot of sense. Money-wise, it makes sense. In my heart, in my gut, I don't like it. And you know what? I don't know when I became so damn attached to Brett Gardner. I used to, like, whatever. It's Gardner. Okay, who cares? Yeah. He was not. Even at the beginning of last year, I remember people telling me Gardner was a fan favorite, and I was like, no, he's not. People are just indifferent on Brett Gardner. But Gardy has, like, found his way into, like, no, I think Gardner's important to next year, which I do. I think Gardner's important next year. I think a lot of people don't like what they see with Gardner. I don't know. I think he's important, but logically it makes sense. Would you trade one of those 2 guys to make room and sign Darvish?
Ellsbury, obviously.
Obviously, like if Cash is the genius boy that everyone says he is, Cash God, he'll fucking move Ellsbury. He'll find a way.
Yeah, and it's I think Cashman had a quote on it that was something like, "Hey, don't get on Ellsbury for his contract. If you guys want to get on someone, I gave it to him." Something like that.
Which is
And
tough if you're Ellsbury and you hear that.
hey, he's collecting, man. But yeah, if you could spin Ellsbury somehow, again, you probably have to pay half of it and give up one of these prospects that ever, like you say, the prospect huggers. I mean, people will be mad. I mean, to move a guy like Ellsbury, I think you have to give up a decent prospect, which hilarious. Yes, it's a yes and no. I mean, it just seems like you're doing too much at this point. Like now and Gardner's like a symbol of like old Yankees teams and like the I don't know, playing baseball the right way, and he's somehow getting better in his like 10th season, 11th season.
Yeah, best season of his career.
Great defense, and I don't know. I just don't want to see. I don't want to become a Yankees team that depends on just straight up home runs, and then we're watching Giancarlo or Judge trying to figure out left field, and then it's just like not good baseball. I don't know. It's if you can get Darvish and stay under the cap, and Ellsbury's the guy that's going, yeah, you kind of have to figure out a way and do that. Gardner, I don't know. Like that gets into stuff. Like when I feel like if you talk to someone who's on the team, which we might talk to Greg Birdson, a good friend of ours, I feel like that'd be something that they'd be like, no, trade Gardner.
And D-Rob,
Like,
he was pretty high on D-Rob.
Yeah, but I don't know. In summary, no. I'd rather
My
trade
thing
for
is
prospects
my
someone like Corbin. I would.
Yeah, my personal thing is I don't think our outfield depth is what everyone else thinks it is. I am like on the other side of that completely. Hicks is our center fielder, deserves to be our center fielder, excited for him to put together a full season. But dude's never put together a full season. He's going on a 6 year in the league, has never, ever put together a positive full season. So I don't think that's money in the bank. Clint Frazier, he's a rookie. He's going to have growing pains like we saw. He's kind of a project. He's not going to come up like he didn't come up like Gary or like Bird and able to hit immediately in the league. He slapped some around, but in the end, he wasn't ready. And he's going to be a project. And I'm not saying I don't think he can be really good. But in 2018, I think if you trade Gardner and now it's Hicks and Clint are getting everyday at bats, you're shooting yourself in the foot, kind of. So
You're one move away, and I know you can't fully live like this, but if say you move Gardner, now you're an injury away, and we're talking guys Hicks and Ellsbury, who have injury histories that are pretty significant. Now, I mean, you're lining yourself up for an outfield, left field of Judge or Stanton, the other in right, and then you could see like a Clint Frazier center field, and like that's starts turning into bad baseball a little bit. Again, no offense to Clint or anything, but from what we saw last year to plug him in as the Yankee center fielder, I mean that's like a little scary. So
yep.
I don't know. We definitely want to see, and are we being too much of the Yankees? We don't need another starting pitcher. It would be very nice.
We definitely don't need Darvish.
Right.
I could say we may need another lesser just to solidify the five guys we start with are not going to be the five guys we end with. So get a sixth guy out there. CC Sabathia wants a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, that was a real funny quote.
Yeah, we may need another guy. We definitely don't need Darvish, but if his price drops low enough, you got to think, okay, well, why not grab this if no one else is paying him? Let's go into some calls. They'll lead us down some alleyways we aren't going. This one is about the outfield rotation. Let me pull it up.
Hey, what do you think of Judge moving to center field, standing at right, and Gardner at left because Judge was brought in as a center fielder when he got drafted?
Okay, so I like that you're thinking. I like that you're calling in the show and engaging with us. Your idea is a little nuts. Wants to put Judge in center
I
field.
was Judge in center.
Judge in center field. There's you're not going to put up any guy who hits 50 home runs in center field and let him get banged up and run himself into injuries. Just you put those guys in the corner outfield in the easy spots in right field where he doesn't do much. So he said Judge got called up as a center fielder. I don't think that is correct. He was a first baseman in high school. When he went to college, there was already a first baseman there. So they moved him to right field. I think he played like 7 games in center field in the minors. But yeah, Judge can steal bases at will. We saw that, and the team told him, stop it. We don't want you getting injured stealing bases when we have you to hit home runs. So not going to put Judge in center field. Also, Hicks is we kind of just dissed Hicks, but Hicks is in center field. He deserves to start in center field and get a shot. I'm just saying you cannot chalk that in as Hicks is going to be there every day.
Yeah, you're not going to see Judge in center.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Too big.
Question.
Too high.
Hey, Jomboy, it's Brad from Buffalo. Just wanted to comment. Last question. Free agency's been pretty dull. I mean, MLB trade rumors. I think 13 of their top 15 free agents hasn't signed yet. Do you think the Yankees are going to be able to capitalize on the lack of free agent signing? You get a super discount for a guy like a Todd Frazier or someone like that. I mean, free agency or spring training is only 30 days away. Eventually these guys got to sign somewhere, and I think some of the deals on the table will be the best deals they get. Thanks, guys. Love your podcast.
All right. Thanks, Brad from Buffalo, for calling in. And it's going to happen. Some guy is going to get picked up cheap or take a pillow contract. You got to believe, because we're getting too close to the season and no one signed.
Yeah. It's wild. And I think my generic statement is, because I think this is going to continue, and just think of the Garrett Cole trade we just talked about, a trade where he grabbed 4 okay guys, but they were stoked to have them under their control. He literally said 15 years of player control compared to 2 years of Garrett Cole. So it's a new age of baseball. I think this is going to become a huge topic in the next, whenever the CBA is up or whatever it is. But
can you go ahead?
Yeah, people are going to have to sign at some point, and I'll just throw this out as kind of a fun thing, or one team just snaps and is like, give me Darvish, give me all the guys out there. Throw Frazier. JD Martinez isn't signed yet, right?
Nope. Hosmer, Moustakas.
Just picture being a GM. Like you worked your whole life to get to this position, and now you're running a team, say like the Cincinnati Reds. Who knows? Just a random team. And kind of, is it rude to call the Cincinnati Reds just a random team? I don't know. But, you're the GM. You've worked your whole life to get to this position, and now you're looking at 8 of the 10 top tier free agents are just sitting there waiting for contracts. You're looking at your outfield. I can have JD Martinez right now, and I don't really have to break the bank. Although he seems to be the one guy that's getting offers that you're hearing about. I guess Hosmer, there's been some rumors that he's been getting some offers from the Padres, this, that, and the other. But yeah, I don't know. It's would love to see a team go bananas and 3 guys get signed in one day to the same team. But yeah, there's going to be some. I like pillow contract. That's a fun phrase.
I think it's going to happen, and I hope that happens with Todd. And he's like, okay, yeah, fuck it. I'll just go win with the Yankees for 1 year, and then get money. Give him a 2-year contract with the opt out. You know what? Todd Frazier is linked. He said he's been talking to the Mets and the Yankees. The Mets just signed Adrian Gonzalez. If you're a free agent, if you're Todd, I'd be like, okay, I'm out. You just signed Adrian Gonzalez, not playing there.
You hate it. You hate Adrian Gonzalez?
He is a known loser, and the Mets are a known losing team. That will be the biggest
Why is Adrian Gonzalez a known loser?
He complained that the Red Sox had too many night games and the schedule was bad. He said that when they like blew the lead, he was like, it's okay. It wasn't God's plan for us. I'm not upset. It just wasn't meant to be. Dude has just no grind or heart or hustle. He's just soft. And you go to the Mets, who are disaster case already. I'd be pissed. You're Todd. You're not trying to go be Adrian Gonzalez's teammate.
Adrian Gonzalez was also bad last year.
Also, the Mets are putting together the slowest, most unathletic defense to be known to sports.
Hey, we're not here to rip on the Mets, but
I don't hate the Mets. It's just funny what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Darvish, if he drops down to like, if you get Darvish for 5 years, 20 a year, I don't know what these are going to drop to, or like you said, they're going to snap. I wouldn't be surprised if someone dropped low enough to where we're like, holy shit, that was cheap.
Yeah, something will be surprising. But the big thing for the Yanks is salary cap. They're going to be under it this year.
Have to, and then next year they'll go over it. Because the first year you're over, you get taxed 20% of what you're over. The second year you're over, you get taxed 30% of what you're over. And the third year you're over, you get taxed 50% of what you're over. Those might not be the exact numbers, but I know the third year you definitely get taxed 50%. So that's why they have to get under this year, because otherwise it's their third year in a row, and then they can reset. It resets, and they can go again next year.
I don't know. I don't see them giving that money for Darvish. I don't know.
Me neither. I don't think it's a necessity. Okay, next message.
What's going on, guys? This is Rob from Arkansas calling in. So, when I was in high school, my team voted who were the two most worthless players on the team. After we came to a consensus, of course, besides the two that were chosen, we had them fight in the locker room after a game to determine which was the least worthless. So, my question is, who would the Yankees vote as the two most worthless players on the team? And then which one would win in a fight to determine who was the least worthless? Okay. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. That's Rob, that's Rob from Arkansas. We're at the battle of the worthless. Who do you think on our high school? Well, that's a dumb question. No one knows our high school teammates, so we won't do that.
I don't think they want to talk about that.
All right. I have two in my mind. Like, I didn't think about it quickly, but I have two in my mind that I think would be battle out for the most worthless. Do you want me to go first so you have time to think?
Who's going to be the last guy in the bullpen?
Yeah, so that was what my brain went to, and I thought Sessa.
If Sessa's the last guy in the bullpen, it's Sessa.
Or
and then
Shreve.
Give me Shreve. Give me Shreve. Shreve and Romine.
Romine gives Gary his days off. I think Ellsbury is a little more worthless than Romine.
Ellsbury's numbers are good. People just hate Ellsbury because of his contract.
Okay, but Ellsbury in a fight.
Go Ellsbury numbers again. His personality is useless.
Ellsbury in a fight's really funny because he'd lose. He wouldn't try.
Right. He'd be peaceful, like, even while he was getting beat up. Like, no, man, I don't want to do this. And, like, the fight's clearly already happening. Like, he's just taking blows. I'm not going to fight you, man. Like,
I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in this fight. He's taking punches to the face.
What is Jacoby Ellsbury like?
That's why I call him Mr. Boring, man.
I know.
What is Jacoby Ellsbury like is the age-old question. He does interviews with like every other player. I can say, yeah, this is kind of his personality.
Well, hey, know how attached we were to Brett Gardner a minute ago? Ellsbury's numbers are not far off from what Brett Gardner does.
Yeah, but what's Brett Gardner like? What's his personality?
He's mean. He doesn't like finger guns.
He's an angry, mean dude who gives you shit, but you don't know if he's being serious or joking. And sometimes he's joking, sometimes he's serious. We know what we have in Gardner.
You always get it wrong. Like when you think you've got Brett Gardner like going on a good joke or something, and then you send that one line at him, then he gets his most mad.
Yeah.
We're playing a game today.
Was it a fucking joke? All right. Who's your most worthless? Shreve and Sessa just fighting it out?
I guess so. I see. I was putting Romine in the fight because I also think he wins the fight.
Definitely wins the fight. He's got great fight strategy. Ground game, man.
Ground game.
Shreve is like a handsome, tall boy. He'd try to like, no, dude, we're gonna stand up and trade blows. Like, let's be manly about this.
Yeah.
And Romine would be a bulldog. This is a fight, Shreve, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Throw him to the ground, throw some gut punches, rub some dirt in his face, and walk away.
Hockey fight a little bit. I see Shreve's shirt over his head. And being
Shreve's
like, dude, that's
I
not cool.
That's not cool, man.
We're
You
fighting.
fight me like a man. Shreve goes home. He's like, I couldn't even use my strength and my tallness and my reach because he just threw me to the ground right away. It wasn't fair. It's like, no, Shreve, you dumb tall guy. That's the strategy.
Jason Shreve. That's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough name. He looks like they're.
Are we kind of mean on Shreve? Shreve, for a young guy, has decent numbers as like a lefty. Like, is Jason Shreve going to be in the league for 15 years?
Yeah, he's a loogie, but I don't
lefty,
hate. Oh wait,
lefty with the 3.7 ERA.
I don't dislike Shreve, but in our bullpen, he's kind of, if you were to go to pecking order, he doesn't fall in the top 6.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Chasen's a bad name. You shouldn't name your kid Chasen.
That's tough.
Hey guys, I had one baseball question and one Yankee question. Baseball question: what do you guys think of the reported Garrett Cole to the Pirates deal? What do you think about that? And what do you think that does for their rotation? And secondly, the Yankee question: what do you guys think about Stanton batting second? By the way, this is Rusty Rages. I forgot to say that at the beginning. But yeah, what do you think about Stanton batting second instead of Judge sometimes, and the Garrett Cole to Houston deal? Thank you. Bye.
All right, so we don't need to talk about Garrett Cole because we already did. But Stanton batting second. Do you want to go first on this, Jake? Because I have a steadfast take.
Ooh, I didn't know we were giving steadfast takes.
What's steadfast mean? Did I use
no
that right?
idea? I thought you were going to address that. You'll see it at some point during the year. That's baseball now. You kind of mess with lineups, this, that, and the other. I wouldn't be surprised.
Resolutely firm and unwavering. Bam, used it perfectly.
Nice. Wow. You'll see them try. I could see a Joe Madden lineup at some point this season with like maybe Gardner's nicked up and you see like Judge, Stanton 1-2. And you'll hear all these baseball experts freak out about the future of baseball and get your best hitters the most at bats, et cetera, et cetera. I think we both love Judge in the 2-hole.
Yeah, which everyone else doesn't love, but I love it.
He's kind of the perfect mix of where baseball is going. He has the on-base percentage. He's an extremely dangerous threat. Again, second in the MVP voting last year, but he's going to be the dream 2-hole hitter like 10 years from now. People are just still caught in like you're a big boy, you hit home runs, you bat cleanup. Yeah. And that's baseball's just not there. It's Little League kind of had it right. Little League's been doing it for years that you have your best guys bat first, so you get them the most at bats. And now Major League Baseball's like, whoa, that's not too bad. Kind of like that.
So here are my stats why I love Judge in the 2-hole. Pitches per plate appearance. All of Major Leagues last year, Aaron Judge was number 3. He averages 4.41 pitches per plate appearance. Brett Gardner was number 12 out of the entire Major League. 30 teams, 25 players a team, whatever, 10 you want to say. Brett Gardner, 4.23. So on an average, an MLB pitcher with Gardner going 1 and Judge going 2 threw 8 pitches before getting to the third batter. And his on-base percentage was highest on the team, and he still hit the home runs. And you have Stanton behind him. Stanton doesn't crack the top 50 pitches per plate appearance. I guess I don't know Stanton, but I think Judge works in the 2-hole like perfectly. He's got speed on the bases, like we said. They just don't want to let him steal. Gets on base when he's not hitting home runs and hits home runs. And it's only the first time in the order. Like once the first inning is over, batting order doesn't really mean shit at all. Just it means Judge is going to get more at bats than the people behind him, which is also a good thing. And with Stanton behind him, he's going to get a little more fastballs, also a good thing. I like Judge in the 2-hole.
Yeah. Straightforward. What was the word you used?
Steadfast.
Steadfast.
All right, next.
Get to that.
Next caller.
All right, guys. This is Jack from New Jersey. I got 2 things. Just thought of a trivia question. I was thinking of 3 Yankees players who've had a nickname based on like a month, Mr. like a month. I was just wondering if you guys can name them. I know them, but just thought of them. Another thing, what do you think the chances of Judge having a big drop off this year are? And like, how bad would it be? Just want to know what do you think the chances of that are? All right, bye.
All right, thank you, Jack from New Jersey. I actually like the trivia question because I don't know the third off the top of my head. Obviously, you got Mr. November and Jeter, Mr. October and Reggie. Do you know the third?
I do not.
My first guess was a sarcastic Mr. April for Teixeira or something. Yeah, someone who just always had a tough start. Wait, is Gary Sanchez called Mr. August? Because 2 years of his career, he's dominated August.
You sound like a guy wearing an El Gary hat.
Yeah, you can't be. I don't know this. Should I look it up? Should I look it up and find it out?
If you can, how do you even search that?
Or should we let?
You know how bad I am at Google searches.
Or should we let Jack just tell us afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up quickly on this list of Yankees nicknames. Oh. Mr. Murder. Do you know who Mr. Murder was? Played for the Newark Eagles in 1949 through 1956.
Oh boy.
Mr. Baseball? Was that Don Mattingly? He was Donnie Mattingly. Oh, Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield's nickname was Mr. May.
Mr. May? Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Guy visitors.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Mr. May. All right. And do you want to do a couple more or you got to bounce?
I kind of got to bounce.
I'll finish the show by myself. I'll go solo. Jake's at a ski resort, so people came home.
Good luck.
See ya. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Jake's gone. So Judge having a drop-off, I mean, you got to kind of expect some drop-off. 52 home runs is bizarre. You think, I mean, if he gets better, that's fantastic. Now, he did slump for a little bit. So you take out that slump. Could he have been better? Yeah, he could have been better. I think you prepare yourself for a drop-off, but not a drastic drop-off. There's a level below what he did that we would all still be very happy with. That isn't the same as what, like, you know what I mean? He could have a little drop off and we'd all be like, yes, that's very good. Because his season last year was insane. Dude had 100 RBIs, 100 runs, 52 home runs. All right. Let's see what else we got. That was Stan, Jack from New Jersey. I'm trying to filter through these. Here's the next one.
Hey, Jomboy, Andrew from Mel's Kitchen. What are your thoughts on the Yankees possibly going after, say, Andrew Cashner? And also, backup catcher situation. Do you see them going after an Alex Avila? If he ends up being too expensive, maybe, AJ Ellis, Rene Rivera, Giovanni Soto, just, throwing out some names here. What do you think?
Cashner, maybe. We were saying earlier, we need a 6 pitcher. Not need, but I could see everyone wanting a 6 pitcher, but Darvish seems a little intense. If you go after a lesser try to trade for Corbin. I can see them doing that, and I think it would help us out because you never finish the same 5 you start. Like I said already. Backup catcher, I think, even on this show, I said at the end of the year that backup catcher is probably a priority because Romine did not have the best season. He finished one of the worst hitters, and his defense wasn't even that much better than Gary. I think the defense is a outcome of the pitching. We had Sonny Gray come over. We had Sonny Gray come over, Jaime Garcia come over, Canely come over, D-Rob come over. A lot of those guys love to just spike balls in the dirt, and you had 2 rookie-ish catchers, Gary especially, who didn't know them, didn't handle them. So tough staff. And then you got Betances, who spikes them in the dirt too. Josh Tolley told us when we were hanging out with him, like, fuck catching Betances. That would suck. So I thought backup catcher was a necessity. I think with the luxury and the money we're owed now, don't think that that is on the list of things we need. I think they'll stick with Romine. Calls a good game. Clubhouse likes him. And so I'm with Romine now. I wasn't at the beginning. I've changed. And it looks like Andrew called back. I thought this was the same voicemail, but he called and left another one.
Hey, Jomboy, it's Andrew from Hell's Kitchen again. While I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of curious. What are your thoughts on, I guess you could say the progression of the life of Jen Selter as she moved from Clint Frazier to Kristaps Porzingis? Just very curious. You and Jomboy, or you and Jake are, or at least Jake is. He's a Knicks fan. I don't know about you. So, yeah, I just want to know your take on that.
All right. Yes, kind of wish Jake was still here for this one. Jen Selter, grandma, dad, a lot of people listening. If you don't know who Jen Selter is, she got famous for having a really big ass. She does a lot of butt workout videos. She invented the butt selfie, which is a picture you take where you just like stick your ass out and take a picture at the same time. And she wasn't hooked. She's dating or linked to Kristaps Porzingis now in the Knicks. When Clint Frazier first got traded over, he tweeted at her like, hey, now that I'm in New York, let's go on a date, Jen. And I don't think she responded. And then he tried to get a hashtag going, Selter dates Frazier. Since then, Clint Frazier has found love with some girl with a corny name like Hope or Faith or Joy. I forget what her name is. And he's all kissy. But Selter, good for her. Got famous for having a big butt. And now is just dating the richest people in New York. So the progression of her life is pretty cool if you're a fan of people making a living off not really having a talent or skill. I mean, can't knock someone that does that. Good for you. Go get money however you want. All right, that's the end of the show. Jake at a ski resort had to bounce early, left with just me. Nothing's happening. I'm hoping something happens. If Steinbrenner was still around, I think Darvish would already be a Yankee because he'd be upset about missing out on Cole, even though maybe we didn't really want Cole. That's the thing. We have no idea how much we actually offered, wanted, interest, but Cole goes to Houston, which if the season plays out how it should, we would playoffs again. Should be fun. I'll take if we're in the playoffs, I don't care who we're playing. Let's just play. People were scared of the Indians last year, and that worked out fine. All right, that's the end of the show. Keep the voicemails coming. We've had some people email stories about meeting players. I'll table that since we're running out now of time now, and I'm alone. But stories of meeting players, questions, anything. Buy an El Gary hat. I got them. I'm sending them out soon. If you ordered one already, we had some hiccups, and now they are being shipped out as soon as I get to the post office. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you. Keep the reviews, keep the ratings, keep the love coming. Thanks for the support, and have a good day. Hopefully we get news soon, because no news is incredibly, incredibly boring. Thanks again. Tell them, Grandma. For you guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. Sorry that Jake cut out and we had to re-record the beginning, but shit happens. See you guys.